Hello, how are you doing? This is Teshua Jogona here, and thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for subscribing on my YouTube channel, Teshua Jogona Vlogs, okay? And this brings me to my point or whatever I want to say today. A few weeks ago, I can't remember the story very well because you guys sometimes, the questions, you overwhelm me with questions, But it was something to do with, if you're here and this was your question, it was something to do with the guy has a job. However, he has never done, he has never worked with his original COS because there is no hours. But the guy is working elsewhere, yeah? There's, you can work second job, you can work second job 20 hours, yeah? So, however, the guy wanted to bring the wife, who is a dependent, to the UK, but using the original visa, yeah? The original visa or the original COS or the visa, whatever. I know you understand. So he was asking me, but before he does the paperwork, he wants to ensure, he wants to first go back to the home country because he needs to do something. So the dilemma was, do they check the HMRC or do they check if you've been working, or do they ask for your payslips to see if you've been paying tax in your original, or through your first job? And I told the guy I'm not sure. However, the answer I gave him was, going back home is never a problem. Even us that have read books, going back home is never a problem. But you'll be surprised when you're coming back, even you with a British passport, but you look a bit different. It will take time. They will check your passport like, yeah. Anyway, so, and I gave him an example of a student who went back home, and anyway, by the time he was coming back, his visa was revoked because he was found out that he was working more than 20 hours as a student. And they have, if you hear them asking you a question when they just sat there on that computer, my friend, they have all your details, information out. So whatever rubbish you're telling them there or lying, it will not do any justice. So anyway, I told the guy, and he was like, yeah, that looks like a very tricky situation, and we left it at that. However, this morning I've come across this information from a solicitor, and I want to tell you that it is important, if you have come to the UK with a skilled workers visa or a health and care workers visa, to just not relax and think you're safe. Yeah, because a lot of bad things have happened, a lot of scam have happened. And so as much as they wanted people to come and work, they are also trying their best to remove those people that do not meet the eligibility criteria that they had put in place initially. So what am I saying? That when you come employed, it is important that you keep yourself updated. We update, home office updates, because things are changing every day. So this brings me to what he was saying about his client. He's a solicitor, and he was saying that this is what happened to his solicitor. You are all aware that not all companies recruit. It is company that met a certain criteria that recruit overseas, and they have a license to recruit overseas. However, this is a provision that was given around 2020. So there is genuine and big recruiting companies that are still there. However, there is small companies that played a role or role play to just meet the initial criteria to get the license, but they never continued to provide, good services, or they're not working towards bettering themselves. They just wanted to pass that bit of, this is what the government need for us. We have it and we have the license. Are we together, class? So with that, those are the companies that are recruiting from overseas with no hours or with no work. Yeah? So what happens? You come here and your company does not have work. What are you supposed to do? And that is why I'm telling you now, don't just come and relax. Because remember, if it happens that your company or your recruiting agent, their license is revoked, what happens is you are given 60 days to either find a job. Yeah, you find another job, or by the 60 days, if you don't have a job, then that means you're going home. But you're given the 60 days, which will say, give or take, that is 2 months. Sometimes it's not enough, but that is what the government will give you. However, what would happen if you are the one who actually realized, even before the government sent you the 60 days, you realized, I don't think my recruiting company agency is still on the sponsor register. Because remember, that is what you're supposed to be checking. On the sponsor register, you check if your company is still there. Because the moment the license is revoked, then they are no longer on the register. So if you know beforehand that, I can't see my company here, that means you've bought yourself time to even start preparing your case with the solicitor. Yeah? Compared to when now the government has, finalized everything and they know this is not, and now they send to the employees the 60 days. I'm just thinking ahead. So, therefore, please, even if you're still working on workers visa, and you know the company, if your company was rubbish from the word go, if your company was the one that you are taking each other like this, and asking you, I don't know, you did not pay admission fee, your company, your recruiting agency. So if you know your company is rubbish, then you should be vigilant on checking, is it still on the register? So that you are always ahead of anything that can happen. The other most important thing I've learned from this solicitor, please, even if you have maybe your contract is 5 years, you have your 5 years on your visa. Please, what is keeping you in the UK? It is your work. So before you go to your holiday, actually now it's almost Christmas, some of you will be going home. Before you go home, please check if your company is still safe in the register. Because in this case, the client, the solicitor now is talking about the client went back home. Yeah, coming back, and like I said initially, there is always never a problem when you're going back to your home, no problem. But when you're coming back, anyway, so when the guy was coming back, the immigration checked, and they can see the guy was on a skilled workers visa. They checked, but the company's license has already been revoked. So now you can imagine the case, because now you will not enter, because what is keeping you is your job. However, the company license has been revoked. So you can see the mess that is there. And this is actually happening on the immigration, in the airport. It's better if when you're still running your business. But now it's there, because whatever decision is made there, it will be carefully be followed. Yeah. So, I don't know, did this guy not know that the company license has been revoked? What would have the guy done if they had realized that their company license has been revoked? Would they still have traveled? Probably not. What would they have done as they waited to, all these things? So my point is, please be careful. Don't just settle. If it's a work visa, don't just settle. A lot of bad things have happened. And as much as they want you to work, it's the same way they want people that they feel, they still want people to, they still feel, it has been crazy and dirty. So take care, and I wish you all the best. And remember to do